Welcome to Arrow News Channel. Like and subscribe to update news around the world. The reactions by angry liberals are still making headlines after the president's State of the Union address. President Trump has made his stance on the issues that affect Americans abundantly clear, and the Democrats don't like it one bit. Whether anyone agrees with what the president has to say or not, you can be sure that you'll always know where he stands on the issues. According to liberal spitfire Maxine Waters, who, by the way, skipped the State of the Union address, those opinions aren't suitable for all audiences. Waters' reputation during her 30 years in Congress has won her more than one award for corruption. She believes that President Trump shouldn't be allowed to talk to the entire nation and spread his damaging views. Fox News reports that Waters wants a parental advisory to appear before the President of the United States speaks on national television. Representative Maxine Waters, Democrat California, who appeared on Bet Wednesday to lambast President Trump's State of the Union address, called for a parental advisory each time the president appears on television. Whenever he appears on TV, there should be a disclaimer that says this may not be acceptable for children, she said. Waters recorded a pre-taped response to Trump's address, which was broadcast on attorney and political commentator Angela Rye's Bell Special. One speech cannot and does not make Donald Trump presidential. He's not presidential and he never will be presidential. He claims that's bringing people together, but make no mistake, he is a dangerous, unprincipled, divisive, and shameful racist, Waters said. Waters further accused Trump of using divisive rhetoric during his first year in office. She said, after Trump defended white supremacists, targeted Muslims with his travel ban, described Mexicans as rapists, and mocked people with disabilities, it's impossible to believe him when he tries to declare he wants to bring the country together. At the end of her speech, Waters described Trump as a terrible role model for our children, because of his hatred for women and people of color. Waters has been a vocal critic of Trump since he took office, having repeatedly called for his impeachment. She was one of several lawmakers who didn't attend the State of the Union address. Waters' comment about one speech does not a president make might lead one to believe that the left is giving ground when it comes to the president's public opinion. From the beginning, one of the biggest complaints was that the president wasn't presidential. The American people decided that they didn't care about that as much as they did about being told the truth. However, that might be a point that they are losing ground on if the State of the Union is any indication. While Waters was no doubt itching to give this rebuttal to the State of the Union, it might have carried a little more clout coming from another source. Waters has a very vocal history criticizing the president and calling for his removal from office. As SHTF Plan reports, her objections are loud, crazy and bordering on illegal. During an appearance at the Oli Forney Center Gala in New York City, Congresswoman and impeachment minstrel Maxine Waters promised a roaring crowd that she would take out the president that very night, a statement that has left many wondering if this was a direct threat on President Trump's life or whether it was some sort of sick joke. Especially in the wake of Representative Steve Scalise being shot by a liberal. Waters made the promise to the group, which benefits homeless LGBTQ youth, amid the backdrop of violence against conservatives and the mainstream media literally picking apart every single thing Trump says or does for any hint of something to attack him over. It's safe to assume they won't be doing the same after Waters' disgusting remarks. I'm sitting here listening, watching, absorbing, thinking about Ali even though I never met him. And with this kind of inspiration, I will go and take out Trump tonight, Waters stunningly said. And Waters isn't alone in her extremely vocal protests to the president. The chairman of the DNC, Tom Perez, has made similar statements about the president. We have the most dangerous president in American history and one of the most reactionary Congresses in American history, Democratic Chairman Tom Perez said during his speech. Perez also labeled Trump an existential threat with no apparent worry that his words could be taken, along with those by Waters and other liberals in the media, as ammunition for a crazy leftist to once again attack Congress or even the White House. Perez's comments come as he reorganizes the DNC to better serve establishment candidates, pushing out several prominent Bernie Sanders supporters while pretending the shuffle was about diversity when in reality it was a transparent move to make sure he can control who the party supports for president in 2020. Waters, Perez, and others like them are precisely the kinds of entrenched crooked liberal that gives the DNC a bad name. They will throw their weight around and try to move the party to an uprising, but the world can see that they are everything that the side is trying to whitewash from their reputation. Waters can cry and complain all she wants, but she's not convincing any Trump voters to turn away, and she might just push the fence-sitters the right if she keeps up her current antics.